evening, all of you guys. Yeah, yeah. Good evening, all of you guys. Hope all of you can hear me. Right, guys. Can you please confirm, guys? Is I'm audible? Right, guys. Thank you. Thanks for the confirmation, guys. So, guys, just before starting the session, that means just before starting the session. So, guys, just I want to know. That means like how many participants has been newly joined. Because in the last week we have taken a some kind of a demos we have been got taken. I guess it's an introduction classes only, just 3 to 4 classes. I think it is Tuesday because Sunday and Monday we have in some other office official work. So it is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So just a 1 hour. It's almost all. It is going to be totally 3 hours. It has been got taken actually. Guys, not more than that. So it's just an introduction part. So we have not yet started with any actual concepts. No worries about what about that particular last classes that has been already happened. So guys, I just want to know some confirmation from the participants, like anybody has been joined for the today's class. If you have been joined for the today's class, please let me know, guys. Okay. There is a chat option will be there, guys. There is a chat window will be there. So just if you can type there, like it is a first session, it's just like a first. So I can just come to know about like what level I have to start for the today's class actually. Okay, Vaibhav, so it's a first session. Okay, fine. Any others, guys? Any others? Yeah, today is also demo class. No. Actually, Bharat, it's just almost all we are going to be doing that. Just I want to know if anybody has been newly joined. So just like a 5-10 minutes, I just refresh it and we'll go ahead actually. Yes, Vinayak, it is also your first class. Okay. So 2 guys I can see. Is any more, guys? Any more? So 2 people has been, it has been, yeah. No. Vaibhav, it is going to be just a demo classes. It's a 3 demo classes has been happened. So no worries about them. It's going to be like our team will share you those recorded videos. It is an intro. It's an intro part actually. So the main introduction part was not yet over. So just we have been discussing like what is data science, what is machine learning, what are the techniques we have to learn. Just an idea, like some different questions from the students, like up to what level of maths we have to learn. Just an idea. That means it is not going to be like which is going to be planned actually. So it is going to be just like as part of the discussions. We'll go ahead actually. We'll go. It is going to be something like an unplanned discussion has been happened actually, not according to the course curriculum. Okay, fine, guys. So still anymore? I think 2 people I can see, guys. Okay, fine. So I was not sure about that really how many people has been joined for the today's class. But one thing I can confirm it actually, guys. If anybody has been joined for the today's class, so if today is your first class, don't worry about the sessions because 3 classes actually, guys. It's hardly 3 classes. Friday, Saturday, we don't have a class. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, only 3 classes have been taken. The 2, it's like a demo sessions actually. I just quickly review like what I have been got discussed, and then we'll go ahead according to the schedule actually, guys. Actually, our initial plan, that means initial plan is nothing but we give 3 to 4 demo classes will be given, guys. 3 to 4 classes, demo classes will be given. After that, once the people joins here and there, they will join 1 day before, 1 day after. So there will be different participants will be there. So 3 to 4 demo classes will take it and just will club them and we'll start with our regular classes actually. Okay. So guys, who has been missed the last 3 classes, don't worry about that. So 3 days, 3 classes has been happened actually. So no worries about those classes because anyhow, my backend team is going to share you those recorded videos. It's going to be, it takes some time, Bharat, don't worry about that because initially, no, so it will take some time because we cannot give the access like that just to have the people who has been for each student, we cannot give like that. So we are running, all of them should be at the same pace. So 1 or 2 days there will be either before or after some registrations will be coming. So please wait because it is an initial classes only, no? So immediately we cannot start learning from that. So please wait. Maybe maximum by end of this week, everything will be settled down. So your drive will be accessible, your Telegram group will be created, access to the Python videos. So everything is going to become. So like, let us say that if you are going to be running ahead, so other people will get confused with that. So like something has been happened already. So just please wait. So like we'll learn because it is not just like a 10 days course or 20 days course. So to make it fast actually, so we have a long time to ahead to work on them. So just please give us a 1 week of time. So everything will make it settled down actually, guys. Okay, fine. So guys, in the last 3 days, once again, just even who has been attended the last 3 classes actually, guys. So just I'll recap all the things, like just a 5-10 minutes, I'll recap them and I'll start with an applications. So once again, recap the application, guys, as we have been discussing about. Actually, our course is going to be a full stack data science course actually, guys. So as part of the full stack data science course, we are having a lot of topics to be learning. So actually, even correctly speaking, I have not yet discussed about what is data science actually, guys. Because you can't understand really what is a data science means, immediately you can't understand, but I given some idea. So what we are going to be using actually, guys, if data science, we are talking about that. So we are going to be using a various techniques. We are going to be learning about the various techniques, methodologies. I've given some ideas, like in the last class, I have given some what ideas we are going to be, some mathematical solutions I have been talking about that. So it is going to be something like what I can say here is, so I have been talking about some various techniques, algorithms, methodologies, systems. So all this finally is to get some insights from the data actually, guys. Our main target is to get some insight from the data by using some various techniques and all the methodologies. So by using a technique called as a machine learning actually, guys. Machine learning is also one of the technique actually. So it will help you to get the insights from the data. But who is going to help you actually, guys? You need not to do any manual applications. Everything is going to be done by the machine. Machine performs all the insights and all these things. Even last class, I showed you one example also. Just the people who has been not attended, I didn't shown practically, but how practically we are going to do, we have been got a little bit discussion we have been done, right, guys? So initially, most of you having a doubt, really can machines will learn? Yes, we have everybody having a doubt actually. Will really the machines will learn? So after, as we have been discussed over the time period, we have been seen. Initially, everybody, even the computer experts also thought the same way. Machines may not learn, machines can't learn, but over the time period, you can find out. So the machines are also able to learn. So how it is in evolved also, I have been discussed about that, little bit idea about that. So simple to say that what I have been discussed about that. So data was given to a ML expert. Actually, the data was first initially given to an ML expert. So ML expert has to do a lot of pre-processing will be done. I told you some kind of a techniques he has to apply them actually. Once the data was ready to learn by the system. So to make the machines to learn, there are some standard formats are there actually. If you simply give the data, the machines can't learn it actually, guys. So once if you have given that particular data to the ML expert, immediately the ML experts is going to do some pre-processing and all these things, and it will make the data to be ready to make the system to understand. So once this ML expert will feed that particular processed data to the machine is going to be immediately, it is going to learn from the data, get some insights, and based on that insights, we can do some kind of a predictions. So I told you a lot of examples actually, guys. So predicting whether a email is an spam or a ham. So just can you predict whether it is going to be how the machine, how our email servers to predict the email as a spam message, or which is going to be nothing but it's a non-spam messages, which we call it as ham messages. How it is going to be done actually, guys. So for that also, we have been having a discussion. So like from the last so many years of time, so many emails are coming. We already know which are going to be spam, which are going to be ham. So we'll give it to the machines. Machines are going to be trained. Machines are going to learn from the data. We'll give some training. How the training is done also, I have been discussed about that by using some kind of an algorithms. So just an idea I have been given, guys. Last class, I have given some idea about what is going to be a classification algorithms, what is going to be the regression algorithms actually, a little bit idea about that. So what type of task it is, whether it is a classification, whether it is a regression. So I given an idea. If you're trying to predict a categorical variable, it is called as a classification. If it is going to be a continuous data, what we are going to call it as a regression examples. And I told you, so please try to search the internet over that particular topics actually. What are different types of classification algorithms? What are the different types of regression algorithms? So some kind of an algorithms which I have been got talking about that, right guys? So this is going to be what we can talk about those particular applications actually, guys. That is what we have been got discussed about that, right? Now, that is going to be what we have been got discussed in the last session actually. So like what are the processing techniques we have to do? So we learned how to import the data, how to analyze the data, how to visualize the data, how to clean up the data. So how the machine learning is going to learn. So after that, how do you evaluate the model performance? So how good the model has been learned, how to improve the performance, how to deploy the models. So all these are going to be some of the things what we have been got discussed. So as part of the last session, we've done the discussions actually, guys. So actual technique and actual concepts has been not yet started, but we have been done some kind of the basic discussions we have been done. So even I told you about that here, the why, that means why the machine learning has been became this much popular due to a lot of success, a lot of the implementations what we are going to be doing this. Once you study the machine learning, we'll discuss about them, guys, more and more. As I told you, there are mainly two reasons actually, guys. One is going to be a very powerful ML algorithms, the machine learning algorithms, plus which is going to be nothing but the computing power of the systems actually, guys. Mainly due to these particular two reasons. So why this powerful ML algorithms were able to develop? It is due to the computing power. So our computing power, the power of our computers also has been increased. So it almost all, it has been multiplied by hundreds of times. Compare with a couple of decades back. So it has been very drastically, it has been increased. So almost all some around 2 decades of time, if you recollect, the RAM size is going to be, we used to use as a RAM. You don't believe it actually, guys. You don't believe. It is going to be 128 to maximum 256 MB. It's not GB, guys. It is MB. Now, a mobile is coming with a minimum of 8 GB. Isn't it, guys? 6 GB, 8 GB, 4 GB is coming actually. So imagine a RAM size is 128 MB to 256 MB means how much computing power it can have actually. Just maybe hardly, it is not 100 years ago. It is not going to be 100 years ago or not 50 years ago. Hardly 20, 25 years before actually. Hardly 20 years before. I remember because I brought my first laptop in my first computer in 2001. Up to 2003, 2004, we have been got worked with the same systems actually. You don't believe what is going to be the size of the hard disk actually, guys, HDDs. It is hardly 20 GB to 40 GB. Now, how much 40 GB? How much is the RAM, the memory that is coming from a normal, which is a basic mobile, it is coming actually. Minimum you are getting 32 GB. Minimum you are getting 64 GB, 128 GB, something like that. Isn't it, guys? So mainly the computing power of the systems has been brought these ML algorithms into reality. And due to this ML algorithms only, this powerfulness of machine learning, deep learning, AI, all these are due to these powerful algorithms. Because I told you, we don't write any code. We don't write any code actually, guys. What is machine learning? Without having any explicit coding, we are going to giving the ability to the machines to learn by themselves without having any explicit coding. Once you start with the applications, we'll come to know about that. Previously, we used to do the rules. We used to write the rules. Now it's not required. You give the data to the machine is going to find out the rules actually. So that is going to be what we are talking about. It's not a powerfulness of Python. So don't think that Python is going to be by due to the Python only, it has been the machine learning, all these things. It is not the powerfulness of Python, guys. It is the powerfulness of the algorithms and the computing power of your system. If you don't have a sufficient computing power for your system, even if you run some machine learning algorithms, it will take a lot of time. It is going to take it actually, guys. Really, it is going to take a lot of time. Why? Because it is going to be some kind of the computing power is going to be gets required actually. So not only just implementing. So if you want to implement some systems, so that is not sufficient. Simply language, if you install it and do that, it's not sufficient. your computer should be also in a position to process all that particular, the computations and all the calculations must be there actually. Then what languages we are going to use? So are you going to learn some languages? Absolutely. Because I told you that some kind of a techniques, I told you clearly, you have to understand what is the technique and why do you use the technique. But how to implement them, that is we talk about the Python. You need not to write any code. In the last class, I've just shown you those particular process, guys, just to understand the concept. Two ways I have been written. One is manually, I have written the code. Manually, I have written some code actually. Instead of writing that particular code, Python is providing some ready-made tools. It is providing some ready-made utilities are providing. So directly what we did is we have been used them and we have been you can use this application actually, guys. Okay, so that is going to be something like what we can talk about, something we are able to talk about that. So we don't write any functional codes in Python, as I told you, so normally if I ask a normal programmer, C++, Java programmer, whenever I give some requirement, he will think about like how to write the logic, what is the code we have to write it. But in whenever we ask a Python programmer or Pythonist or a Pythoneer, so whenever we ask a requirement, he will think about what libraries are available. So in last class, I've shown you some libraries actually, guys. It is going to be sklearn. If you remember, don't worry, we have not started with, and don't worry about these technologies actually, guys. It is going to be, I have been used something what I'm going to call it as an sklearn. You can just verify it actually, guys. What is a sklearn in Python? It is a very popular library. It is going to be one of the machine learning library actually, guys. Scikit-learn, what basically we are going to call it as a scikit-learn, scientific kit for machine learning, is a free software machine learning library for the Python programming language. So if you use the terms like we have been using the terms now, guys, it features various classification, regression, clustering algorithms, including a support vector machines actually. This is going to be, everything is an open source, guys. Free to use, no need to pay a single penny for that. Everything is going to be open source, a very popular algorithms, a popular library for machine learning, guys. You can see some kind of a terminologies actually, guys. Simple and efficient tool for predictive data analysis. As I told you, machine learning is all about not only analysis, it is going to be a predictive analysis. So we are analyzing, and based on that, we are going to be using the prediction actually, guys. A best basically for machine learning in Python. You can see this machine learning in Python actually, guys. So we can see all that kind of a terminologies what we are going to be doing this actually. So what terminologies we can see? Classification, regression, clustering. So these are the some of the terminologies what we are going to be talking about. Right, guys? These are some of the terminologies what we are going to be talking about that, right? So something like that, we are going to be able to work with them actually. So many libraries are there, guys. Once if you talk about them, we are going to be talking about so many libraries are there. Keras, which is going to be a very popular algorithm, a popular library, basically for deep learning applications actually, guys. They are basically for deep learning applications actually, Keras. So which is going to be basically, you can also apply machine learning, but mostly it is going to be done by, which is going to be for deep learning applications that are going to be doing this actually. Okay, so we'll see that what is this TensorFlow, what are the PyTorch, all these things we'll be working about that later. So there are so many libraries are there. Not only this, as you can see that there is going to be a TensorFlow. So which was basically a framework which was developed by Google. So Google AI team has developed this actually, guys. Basically for deep learning applications. Basically for deep learning applications, guys. As I told you, some data preparations we have to do, build the machine learning models, deploy that particular models, something like that. The terminology is what we are going to be seeing this actually. So that is going to be what we can talk about them. So many things are there. So many research is going on actually, guys. We are having something called as an PyTorch. So which is going to be whenever we talk about the PyTorch, right? It was developed by Facebook AI team actually, guys. It is also the pytorch.org. And another which is going to be, it is now Meta actually, right? It is going to be by the Meta, that particular people has been got developed actually, guys. Okay. So something like that, we can see this kind of end. So what are the, there are so many frameworks has been there, ready to use tools, completely ready to use tools, guys. No need to write any code, no need to write any functional programming or the functional code. All these are not going to be gets required actually, guys. Okay. So we can see these are all some supportive to the Python. That is the reason we are using Python basically for our data science and machine learning. There are some other languages are also there actually, guys, like up to some extent you can also use Python, and as well as we are having some other languages also actually, guys. So we can use the languages like which is going to be Python, and we can also use a language called as an R language. So as part of our course curriculum, so we are going to work with R language for a week of time. For 1 week, we are going to work with the R language. It's a full stack data science course, guys. It is not simple, which is going to be machine learning class. So end to end, whenever you want to work in a data science project. So to whenever you want to work with an end to end in a data science project, so whatever your requirements, what exactly you need, all these things we'll be discussing as part of this course curriculum. That's why we'll spend a little bit time, more time you have to spend actually, guys. Technologies are new, concepts are new, process is new, everything is going to be new to you. It's not like writing a C program or C++ or a Java program. It's not like this actually, guys. Okay. So these are some of the things which we have been already discussing, guys. So the guys who has been missed the last 3 classes, don't worry, nothing has been happened. Just a kind of a discussion has been happened actually, guys. Okay. So today I'm going to start with, so we are just entering into our actual course curriculum, guys. So as I told you, as we have been got discussed, so to implement machine learning, we will understand what are the machine learning, whatever the machine learning methodologies, whatever the techniques we have to do. But how do we apply those techniques? How to apply those methodologies? We have to require some language. We have learned some methodology. We learned some technique actually, guys. But to implement the technique, we require some programming language. So that language is going to be nothing but it is going to be Python. So as of my knowledge, I can say there are some around 17. Okay, there are some around 17 students are there. 17 participants are there here. At least as of my knowledge, it is minimum 70% of the people. At least that means they may not be an expertise in Python, but at least they have been seen the Python environment. Maximum 70 to 80%. Maybe a few guys, maybe some around 10-20% of the people, they may not have seen the Python environment. Generally, if you come from IT, if you're already working some, that means it need not to be that you as a CSC graduate or you may be or you may be an IT professional. So who has been already started learning this particular programming languages? Who has been already, that means whatever it may be your core subject actually, but they are moving towards the software actually. So who has started learning the software, or who are already started learning something like Java or something like that, they already have some idea about the Python. So they're already looking into the language actually. Maybe some guys who has been completely from the non-IT field, maybe there may be 1 or 2 guys will be there actually, guys, who are not from any IT related the core concepts actually. So for those people, the Python is going to be completely new. Programming itself is a new. So whenever I say Python, no need to worry about them. So like who are the non-programmers, they need not to worry about them, because generally we say that Python is a programming language, but the IT experts or this computer experts, they never treat this Python as one of a programming language. They never treat it. So once the Python has been came into the existence, guys, the complete the programming part has been decreased. It has been completely changed. The style has been changed. The whatever that particular implementations, everything has been changed. As already told, less code or no code. That is our main target now, guys. For every industry, for every it's going to be a software industry or software platforms. So completely they are saying only one thing. It is going to be nothing but either no code or less code. That's it. There should not be any code, or there must be less code. Now nobody is ready to write that kind of a lengthy programs what we used to write in Java, or what we used to write it in some .NET and some C++ programming. Now it is completely a different era. It's a different era actually, guys. It's no code, less code. No code or less code. That's it. Either avoid the code, or at least we have to write a minimal code. So though the Python is a programming language, but the main idea behind actually the Python evolution has been taken place actually, guys. So let me talk about some few points about the history. So the Python story has been started around in approximately around some 1990s. It was started actually, guys. In and around, I don't say exactly 1990, but in and around 1990, it has been got started at the story about the Python. If you go a little bit, if you go for a little bit, what we can say, if you go for a little bit a deep into that history, we can have some kind of an we can have some kind of an a discussions can be there actually. So what exactly the discussion here is, initially this team, whatever the Python core team is there, they have been not started their development for Python. So the background, if I talk about the background of this particular Python, around that means some around 1985, etc. Around some 1985, etc. So a team has been trying to work on a language which want to make everything to be simplified for the developers. So the actual background, if you see that, it is going to be a simple language. Everything should be simple. A simple language for development. A simple language for development, they want to do that. So whatever the problems you are facing in other languages, all those things we want to avoid them. All those things we want to minimize them. So they started, one team started working on them, a simple language for development or developers. So they started a language, they named that particular language as ABC. So we know why that why we use the term called as an ABC. So whenever we want to say it is a very, very simple for us, so we'll say that it is just like ABC for me. So they have developed a language called as an ABC language was developed. That it has been almost all in the beginnings of, in the ends of 1980s actually, yes. At the end of 1980s, 89, 88, 88, 89. But due to some reason, due to some technical reason, this project has been got stopped actually, guys. So this project has been stopped. It didn't came into the existence actually. The project has been stopped for some reason actually. Some reason has been, so it has been only limited it's to the lab, but it didn't came to the implementation actually. It didn't came to the implementation. So this team, whatever the same team that has been got worked on this ABC, one of a member from that particular team, who is going to be the Rossum. His full name is going to be Von Rossum or Guido Von Rossum. So simply we call him as a Rossum actually. He is one of a Dutchish programmer actually. So he was one of the team member of this particular, the ABC, whatever the team that has been got work. And inspired from this language ABC, he has written this particular language, what we're calling it as the Python actually. So this is a person actually, guys, the Rossum, the Guido or Rossum, actually GVR we're going to call them as. So his name is going to be Rossum. So he takes a lot of seminars and all these things. We can see him. So he still is taking a lot of seminars, technical seminars and all these things. So it was evolved like this actually, guys. That is some history behind them. So Rossum has been inspired from this language called as an ABC. That one of the main inspiration for Python is ABC. They want to make everything to be simplified. So if some people has been already seen the Python environment, they don't find that much excited. But the people who has been started the Python for the first time really will find very excited while you're working with the Python. Because whatever the troubles, whatever the issues you are facing in other programming languages, everything has been got avoided. So inspired from the language ABC. So this Rossum, who is one of the team member, he has been written this language called as an Python is a language what they have been got written actually. And one more interesting, so in evaluation, so the evaluation of Python itself is which is going to be an interesting story behind them. There is another a very interesting story behind the name of this particular, what are the language it has been named Python. So generally, whenever we say, whenever we go to, you want to search for some Python textbooks or something like that. Let me search for something like a Python, which is going to be textbooks actually, some Python books. If I talk about some Python textbooks, whenever we see here, so let us see some of the Python textbooks actually, guys. Whenever we see some images related to the Python textbooks, you can see generally most of the textbooks, if you can see on this particular Python, you can see the Python textbook, we can say something like a Python is going to be there. So Python, so if you can see, this is a Python, there is going to be name. Now they have people started avoiding it actually, guys. But some initial stages, everybody Python means they used to think about that this is going to be a snake Python, it is going to be. And even we are having some lot of jokes on all these things based on this particular Python name actually. Now they're avoiding, but still some books, if you can see, they are going to be showing something like a Python, which is a snake, which is going to be the one of the largest snake. You can see it actually. Python crash course. There is a Python snake is there. This is an Python symbol actually, guys, which looks like a snake only for us. But actually there is nothing relevance to the particular snake actually. So Python, you can see there. You can see this kind of a symbols only what we can see it actually. But actually, most of the people thinks that Python means it is something name relevant to the snake actually. It's nothing relevant to the snake. It is nothing, it's nothing to do with that actually. So what is the main the interesting story behind here is, this Rossum, he was a fan of a TV show actually, guys, one of a TV show. The TV show name is going to be Flying Circus. It is going to be a Flying Circus is going to be the name of that a TV show actually, guys, a British TV show. Just like now you are seeing the web series, no guys, you are seeing the web series in lot of OTT platforms. You are watching that this particular web series. So like that, this Flying Circus is also one of a web series. It is during the year of 1969 to 1974. It was aired actually, guys, by a British channel. It's an English comic show, which is going to be a Flying Circus, a comedy show actually, guys. Just like a web series, it has been came in a various series from 1969 to 1974. This Rossum, who was a fan of that particular the TV show, he has used this name. But where is the Python actually here now? There is nothing Python name is there. So one of a director for this family circus, this particular the Flying Circus, his name is going to be Monty Python. His name is going to be Monty Python. So the TV show name is also Monty Python Flying Circus. If you want, you can see it actually, guys. Now also it is in Netflix. So it is going to be nothing but it's a Monty Python Flying Circus actually, guys. It's going to be Monty Python. It is going to be the Flying Circus. This is the TV show. This is actually the name behind this particular one actually, guys. So it is going to be the name behind this actually. So the comedy group Monty Python depicts it's going to be the peculiarities of British life with some observation sketches, side gags and racy humors and some. It's like a comedy show. It was there around some 1969 to 1974. So the program creators are going to be Monty Python, one of the team member, which is going to be Terry Jones, Eric Idle. Okay, these are the people actually, guys. So inspired from that, and being he is a fan of that particular TV show, he has been used that particular name called as a Python. It's name of a person actually. It is not one of a species or one of a type of a snake actually. It was inspired from that particular name. It is an out of a discussion, guys. It is actually out of a discussion, but some interesting stories. You will feel very enjoy. The lecture should be like something like an enjoyable. So you have to enjoy that particular lectures actually. So something new things. So something, because as I told you, 18 years of experience. So I can talk about various technologies, various technologies I can talk about them. Okay, so another interesting story. It's out of a box actually. It is going to be Big Data Hadoop actually, guys. Big Data Hadoop actually, anyhow, as part of it is something relevant to us. It is now out. It's not out of the discussion actually. It is within our discussion only. So we used to hear about these big data systems actually, guys. Big Data Hadoop. So which was basically developed by Apache. Apache is also like one of an open source community. So there is also a little bit interesting story actually, guys. So this Big Data Hadoop actually has been emerged in Apache. Like it was basically managed by one of a member. His name is going to be Doc Cutting. His name is going to be Doc Cutting. Is the name of this person actually. So he has developed some system which is basically used to process huge volumes of data. but he don't know. That means he was looking for a name actually. So basically big data means very large volumes of data he want to work with. So something he want to represent some name which has to represent like a huge thing or a huge data he want to represent it. So dog cutting son. So his son actually, his son playing toy. His son's toy actually, guys. His son used to play with a toy of elephant, which is like a stuffed elephant. His son named that particular toy as an Hadoop. His son has named that particular toy. He used to play with an elephant. That's why when you say big data Hadoop, or when you said Hadoop, you will see that animal, that elephant symbol, you will see it actually, guys. Like whenever you say Python, how you're seeing a snake, whenever I said Hadoop, it is going to be which is going to be an elephant, we can see that actually. So he thought that the elephant is going to be the best representation for this system because the huge animal. So one of the huge animal is going to be, it's a big animal, is going to be the elephant actually. And he has taken the name from his son's toy name, which is Hadoop. It's actually the name of a toy which the dog cutting son used to play actually. If you see the history, we'll come to know about that actually. So like that, there are so many interesting stories are there. So we know why the name Google has came actually. So I think so Google name, it is going to be something like an 10 to the power of 100 or something is going to be what we call it as a Google. So 110 to the power of some 1000 or something. We are having some interesting stories behind them. Same like this, the Python is also a little bit interesting story. It is from a person, one of the crew member, director. So he was a Monty Python. So being he was a fan of that particular TV show, he has named this as in Python actually, but inspired from the language called as an ABC language. Okay. So once you look at the features, once we can look at the features, as the first point I can say that learning Python is a very, 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 very easy language. It's a very simple language actually, guys. Easy to learn, easy to implement, easy to write. So once you start working with the Python, you'll understand this actually, guys. Why everybody is now running back with the Python actually. So why they're running after the Python? Everybody is talking about Python. Let's learn Python. Let's learn Python. Let's learn Python. Because it is due to the simplicity of this particular language. The language is simple, easy to learn, easy to understand, easy to write. Everything is going to be simple and easy actually, guys. That is not the feature of, we cannot say that is a feature of the Python. That is going to be one of the advantage of learning the Python actually. And one more thing, please keep one point in mind actually, guys. We are not here to become a Python experts and a Python programmers. So one word, that one term you have to remove from your mind. That is programmer. You have to remove that word actually, guys. And we should make a habit of. So whenever, while you are learning C, C++, for example, you are going for a Java class. So whenever in the Java class, let us say that the trainer has given some assignment to you. Let us say that write this program. Immediately you used to think about write a program. So once you write the program, guys, we can say that even a person who do not have that much logical thinking also, they can write the programs. So write some programs. You will find some people actually, guys. We don't know the logic. We'll write the program. We'll write some program, something, whatever you understood initially, we written a program. We'll then test the program by running the program with the various values. So we'll check it, whether it is going to be correctly as you're expecting, whether the result is coming. If the result is not coming, we are going to make a small changes. We'll make a small changes. Like what we are going to be doing is a debugging of the program. So we'll add some checkpoints, we'll run the program, what is the value. So there is a two ways, either understand the complete logic and write the program. Even a programmer who is an expert in programming also, they may know the logic, but while writing the program, they will miss some steps. So whenever the output is not coming as we expected, we'll do some debugging. So here at this particular point, what is the value of X? After that, in the next iteration, what is the value of X? We'll do some kind of a debugging and all these things. So that is going to be generally what the programmer way of thinking. Write some code, debug it, and get a solution actually. If it is not working, make some small changes. You can easily debug the program actually. But here, we are not here to learn any such kind of a programmatical skills. So don't think that we have to think about no logical skills here actually, guys. Completely mathematical skills and statistical skills. No logical skills. It's completely maths and stats concepts only. So to solve this problem, I have a problem. So to solve this problem, what is a mathematical solution? Because as I already told you, we don't write any code. We don't write any logical code. We don't write any logics. We don't write any functional code. Nothing will write it actually. So the one of the main, that means one of the main thing we can say is, as I'm saying that you have to think not like a programmer. So like writing a program, what logic we have to write. So whenever a problem has been, whenever a data science related task was given to you, so what is a problem? So what is a mathematical technique to implement them? So after understanding the technique, so how to implement this in Python? So it's always less, we are going to be giving a less preference for the coding actually. So don't think that we have to learn Python. So we are not going to become a Python experts in this class. We don't become a Python experts in this class. But whatever I am going to be teaching here is to apply some data science and machine learning applications. To learn this particular or to implement the data science and machine learning applications, up to what level of Python is required. Up to what level of Python is going to be required. Those things I'm going to be discussing here, guys. So Python level, if you talk about that, it is not going to be even 20-30% of the Python. But that is sufficient actually, guys. That's why we are not going into deep topics into the Python. Up to what extent the machine learning data science required, only up to those level only we'll be having a discussion about. Okay. Now come to the some of the features of Python actually, guys. Let us talk about some of the features of Python. So what features basically Python provides actually, guys? So let us talk about one of the first feature we can talk about that, guys. It is going to be a dynamically typed language. It is going to be a dynamically typed language actually, guys. Let me discuss about what do you mean to say dynamically typed language. So when you started working with C, C++, Java languages, guys, one of the major headache which most of you people faced, it's a little bit in every programming language, guys, that is a very big headache for us. That is, if I want to use a variable, you cannot use it instantly. That means if I suddenly require a variable some t, immediately I can't use it. First of all, we have to declare and then we have to use a variable. Without declaration, we cannot use it. And one more problem is, once if you declare a variable as an integer, throughout the program, you have to use the variable as an integer only. You cannot change it to float. You cannot change it to string once it was declared, right? Isn't it, guys? So once if you declare a variable as an integer in one program, I'm talking about within the program. So once if you declare the variable as an integer, throughout the program, you have to use it as an integer. Now, if you want to use another variable, which is a string, I have to declare. If you use another variable, which is a float, another variable declaration. So due to that, more number of declarations are going to be coming. More variables we have to declare them. So normally, sometimes you will see something like 7 to 8 variables. When you go to the real application, it will be more and more variables. Now, what is Python feature actually, guys? Dynamically typed language. It's a dynamically typed language. What do you mean to say dynamically typed language means? No need to declare any variable. No declaration is required, guys. I'm not saying that no data type, no declaration. You need not to declare a variable. Simply, you can say I is equivalent to 10 over. You need not to say whether I is an integer, I is a float, I is a string, or I is a something. It will take I is equals to 10. Automatically, it will choose as the data type dynamically. That means Python is saying that you don't specify the data type. According to the data what you give, I automatically chooses the data type. If you give integer, it will treat it as an integer. It will take the variable as an integer. We'll discuss it actually, guys, later. Once you start with the actual concepts, we'll discuss about them. So here I is going to be an integer value actually, guys. Immediately you say I is equals to 20.35. Immediately it is going to become say float. Immediately you said I equals to hello. Immediately that particular becomes a string. I said I is equivalent to true. Immediately it is going to become a bool. Same I, first case it is an integer. Second case it is going to be a float. Third case it is going to be nothing but it's a string. And and fourth case it is going to be nothing but it's a bool. Got the point, guys? So according to the data, automatically it chooses the right data type. I'm not saying that Python does not support data type. Python supports, but according to the requirement, it is going to choose as the what kind of a data type that is going to be gets required actually, guys. Okay, so that is an idea. So that is going to be dynamically typed language. So there only it is going to be a big relief for us, guys. It's a very, very big relief for the most of the programmers. Variable declaration is not required. Directly take the variable, you assign the value, whatever the value you give, according to that, it is going to work actually. Isn't it, guys? So it is going to be integers, floats, which is going to be something like an, we can say string, bool, so many other data types are there. There are so many other types are also going to be there actually, guys. Okay, so I'm talking about programmatically what are going to be the advantages actually. It's a dynamically typed language. So no declaration is required. Directly you can say I equals to 10, I equals to 20.35, I equals to hello. You use I equals to 20. Immediately you change it. No need to go to other program. Within the same program only we change it. Immediately it will work. No need to say integer I equals to 100. I equals to 100, I equals to 20.35, I equals to hello, I equals to true. Not only, actually, when you talk about some features actually, guys, which is going to be normally in our normal programming languages, like integers, floats, strings, bool. If I talk about C language, arrays, okay, and maybe something like a structures. When you go to Java, so it is little bit some kind of an advanced collections. You will be having no guys, like something like a list, something like we are having some kind of an advanced data structures are going to be there. Same in Python also, we can say there is going to be some kind of an advanced data structures and data types actually, guys, which is going to be a support for, which is going to be some kind of an advanced data structures, or we can say advanced data types a little bit. It's also going to store the data only actually, guys, but little bit different from the your values. Integer means only one value, float meaning that only one value, string one value, bool one value. But Python is having support for an advanced data types actually, guys. Like it is having a lot of support for like list. It is going to be, there are some little bit advanced data types, we can say that. List, tuples, sets, dictionaries, so many objects are going to be there actually, guys. Sets, dictionaries, etc., etc. So something a new way to represent your data actually, guys. Normally we know how to represent a single values by using integers and floats. How do you store the arrays? Arrays problems, we know that it's going to be homogeneous. All the values in the array should be of the same type of data type. But however, I want to store some heterogeneous data. That means values of different data types. We don't require 4 variables, 4 data types. All the 4 data we can store it into single variable. So the handling of these values are very becoming easy. So there is a support of which is going to be an advanced data types actually, guys. Like that, if we talk about some of the features, we can talk like a lot of features we can talk about. Okay, third point actually, guys, it's a simple, some programmatical standards I'm going to tell you. It is going to be a case sensitive language. Like your C, C++, Java, it's a case sensitive language. Whatever the case they says, you have to follow the same case. You cannot change your required case, whatever you want. It's a case sensitive language. Mostly it is lowercase only, but in some situations we can use a capital cases also. But whatever the case they have been given, you have to follow the same case. Next, and one more feature if you talk about them actually, guys. One of the main programmatical side feature. Let us say that I have a Java programmer. I have a Java programmer is there, one of a Java programmer. He is writing some a program for some implementation. He find out that some part of that implementation can be done in a very easy way in Python. So he want to write a Java code. Sorry, he want to write a Python code. Where he want to write the Python code? Inside a Java code. Inside a Java code, there is Java program is there actually, guys. There is going to be a Java program is there. This is going to be .java. But inside that, I want to write some kind of an Python code. We want to write it actually. So because in using Python, I can do in a very easy way rather than the Java. But when you write a Python code inside a Java program, we have a little bit idea which Java compilers and all these things, the JVMs cannot understand that Python code. So we require some compilers, we require some kind of an environment where it can understand the Java as well as which can understand the Python actually, guys. So we have a different type of an environment. That means a different types of compilers we are going to be having it actually, guys. Python is going to be available in various compilers. Like if you want to write the Python and the Java code together, you have to use something, a compiler, what we are going to call it as a Jython. Java plus Python, it is Jython. It is not JPython. It is going to be Jython, Jython, Jython. So where you can write a Python code into the Java or Java code into the Python actually, guys. But for that we require a separate, which is going to be a kind of a compiler that is required, which is what we are going to call it as Jython. So many are there actually, guys. Jython is there, Iron Python is there, Ruby Python is there. Okay, PyPy is going to be there. So many are going to be there. So what is this feature is what we are going to call it as actually, guys. The feature is going to be nothing but it can be integrates with any language, almost all with any language it can integrate actually, guys. It can integrate with any kind of a language, what we can say. We call them as in dialects of Python actually. If you want to see, go to the Python Wikipedia page actually, guys. So once if you say Python, so just say Python. So we are going to be getting a Wikipedia page will be there. So go to that particular Wikipedia page of the Python actually. You can see all that history. You can see all that particular history, we can say that. So as I told you, so it is going to be the Guido or Rossum. He is one of this Dutch programmer actually, guys. He was a creator of the Python programming. Now I think he was working for Microsoft. Right now he was working for Microsoft actually. So if you can see, this is going to be the one what we can see it actually, guys. So what are the major implementations, what we can see that. So what are going to be the various dialects influenced by, which is going to be ABC. Okay, so major implementations, which we can see PyPy, MicroPython, okay, Iron Python, Jython. So what is Jython actually, guys? Jython is an implementation of the Python programming language designed to run on the Java platform. The implementation was initially called as a JPython. Now it was changed to Jython actually, guys. Iron Python, which is going to be nothing but what we can say that to write a .NET program actually, guys. So we can integrate the Python with the .NET programs actually. So many things are going to be there actually, guys. If you see, a lot of things are going to be there. So he is a person. So he is the awesome. So in 2006 we can see here, it's a Dutch programmer actually, guys. So see some history about them if you want. You can see some history and we can understand it. Inspired from a successor of the ABC programming language. Okay. Now, so it is basically, it can integrate and it can embed any kind of a language into that. It can embed into some other language also can be embedded into this one actually. So just if you want, I can show you guys, which is going to be Jython. So if you just want to know, we can understand that it's a Python implementation where it can understand both the Java code as well as a Python code. So what is Jython? A Jython project provides implementation of Python in Java, providing to Python the benefits of running on the JVM and access to the classes which are going to be written in the Java actually, guys. This is a way how they will write the Python inside the Java code actually, guys. This is actually Python the Python instruction, but they have been written in a Python code actually. Just an example of running Python code inside the simple Java application actually. The Java application, inside that they have written. Inside the Python application, where they have been written the Java code actually. Here is an example of using Java from a Python code. So they have written Python code. Inside that they have been written a Java code actually. Running the Java version, something we can see, Unix time from Java, you can do it actually. So, and as I already told you, here we are not here to become a Python developers and Python experts. So we don't require them actually. Up to that level is not required. I just want to tell you what are the features of Python actually, guys. So that is one of the thing what we are talking about that. So like this, if you talk about, there are so many features are going to be there actually, guys. Like it is going to be one more feature is open source actually, guys. So hope all of you have an idea about what do you mean is an open source. So many people think that open source means free to use. Free to use means no need to pay anything, directly we can use. It's not a free software. Free software is different, open source is different, guys. A free software is different, open source is different. Free software means the software which we can use at a free of cost, but you can't edit that software. You can't edit that software actually, guys. We can't edit it, isn't it? But no, we don't cover it actually. We don't cover the Jython, why Java and all these things for ourselves. We don't use it. I'm just talking about the features, just to know about why the people started using the Python actually. Okay, we don't concentrate on our no concentration is on Python, guys. It is only just to implement our concepts of our machine learning and etc. We are going to be that learning. Actually, we are not interested to learn Python. But if you want to implement the machine learning concepts, we have to learn Python actually. That is the reason why we are going to be using that. Just 2 weeks. That too we learn core Python actually, not more than that. Okay, fine. Next, coming to the discussion, guys. What we are discussing here is, okay, so open sources. Open sources means generally, most of the people think that open source means it is a free to use, no need to pay money, no need to pay any money. You can directly use the software. It's not going to be a concept of only the cost. It is not only just talking about the cost of the particular the product or the language or the software. Open sources means, guys, they will give you the source code. For example, we have written a program, just let us say that we developed a program which is a calculator. For example, let us say that I open this calculator. Let us just imagine that this calculator comes along with your Microsoft. Let us say that it's going to be Calci. Let us say that, just an example I'm talking about. So this is going to be a free software for us. You can use it freely, we can use it actually. So that is not a big problem for us. It's not going to be that. But only the thing is, this is a calculator which was actually developed by Microsoft and given by the Microsoft actually. But let us say that, for example, just I'm talking about that. Like for example, I want to change this. I just want to change this number pad. Like it's not like this one. I want to reverse it actually. Like I want to make something like an 1, 2, 3 here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 0 here now. I want to edit these buttons, or I want to change the color of these numbers actually, guys. Actually, I'm getting 8 in the black, but I want to change it into blue colors. Let us say that I want to edit this software. We are not allowed to do any such kind of a settings. We don't have any that kind of a settings are not going to be there. You can't do anything. It should be as it is, the same thing. You cannot change the colors. You cannot change any features. If I want to add some extra features to that, I can't do that. Okay. So it's a free software, but it is not an open source because we cannot edit the code. They don't give the code to us. They are not given the code us. They didn't given the code to us actually, guys. So what is mean to say an open source means where the code is going to be given to us. Source code will be given to us. So somebody written this code and they have been written some developer this application and he has been given the source code to us. Now what we can do? If you want, you can change the colors. Not only change the colors, you can customize it. You can add some extra features. So this is a code somebody given, some Microsoft given. Now everybody is getting it a free of cost. So now I want to make some changes. So what I will do is I will find out what are going to be the what features are going to be lacking in this application. I will add those particular features to that and sell this particular product as my own product. I will name it not as a Microsoft calculator, it is Vamsi's calculator. But when the people is going to buy this calculator from me, only whenever I give some extra features compared with the Microsoft. So Microsoft won't give the source code to us generally. So we can't edit and we can't sell it. But Python is not like that. There are so many are there actually, guys, open sources. And you know that Windows is in commercial, which is going to be how to pay some license. Unix, Linux operating system, there are open sources. Free to use and we can free to distribute. So directly source code will be given. You can make any modifications at what level you require. So in Windows system level modifications, we can't do it. But in Unix, we can do it actually, guys. So that is one of the feature which we are going to call it as an open source language. So one of the feature is going to be nothing but it's an open source. So you can use it free of cost, and as well as you can easily distribute it also. If you want, you can sell this code to some other client or some other customer, you can sell it as your product. So that is what we talk about open source. There are so many open source communities are there. So their main target of open source community is they don't want to earn the money. They want to contribute something to the society or something to the world. So if they make everything as a commercial, so everybody can't utilize them. Everybody can't get the access. So now, as of now, internet is a paid service. So we know that still in so many rural areas, so in India itself, we don't have the internet connectivity. But once if internet is made free, so everybody can access, everybody can utilize. So that particular powerfulness of that. So it should be something like that. So open sources means they don't work for money, they don't work for earnings. So they want to contribute something to the world. So Apache is one community. So Apache is also going to be one of the community actually, guys, which develops a lot of open sources actually. Apache. So many companies are going to be there. So many products are there actually, guys. So once if you look at the Apache, so see, you can see the websites actually, guys, apache.org. Generally, these open sources are going to be generally org, python.org, okay, microsoft.com, oracle.com. They're commercial. These are open sources actually. They treat them as something like a project actually, guys. You can see there are so many products are there. So many products will be there from this particular Apache actually. So many are there actually, guys. So because they're working on some kind of they want to contribute something actually. So that is the reason why this Apache community is going to be there. Like that, so many are there actually, guys, which they are going to be contributing a lot to the real world actually. Same as it is, Python is also going to be one of the open source maintained by an open source community. If you want to download the Python actually, guys, you can just go to the website. It is www. which is going to be python.org actually, guys. It's a python.org. You can see there. It's a python.org. This is an official website actually, guys. If you see the website, guys, how simple the website looks like. It is going to be no that much colors. It's going to be nothing but no heavyweight fonts. Because if they want to maintain something kind of an animations and etc., they have to maintain some lot of servers. They want to maintain some host and all these things. They have to pay some money. But this looks like something like a blog. It's something, it looks like a blog actually, like a simple blog, like a look, it's going to be looks like this. See the Microsoft.com, how the website will be there. A lot of animations. For example, if you go to something like an oracle.com, you can see how the animations, they will maintain a lot of, they are going to maintain a lot of things. There are going to maintain. So a lot of things they will maintain it actually, guys. It's a little bit heavily loaded. It is a little bit heavily loaded actually, guys. Heavily loaded, it was there. So they will maintain, they will spend a lot of money for this actually. They will spend a lot of money for maintaining these websites. But these organizations don't get any money. If you see the R community, guys, there is an R community is there. At least in Python, there are some colors, etc. is there. You see this, guys. One of a very popularly used language, R. How the website is looking like, can you see, guys? No animation, just like a text. Because to maintain the text, it does not require any much load on the servers actually. There's no need to buy the space actually. It takes very less space because everything is a text. Oh, no, only text, no animations, which is going to be, there is no going to be GIFs or there is no images. Nothing is going to be maintained. This is an R project actually, guys, R language. This is your Python. If you open the Python, this is going to be the python.org. So that is going to be some of the features what we are going to be talking about this particular language, guys. Okay. Actually, there is a one more major features are there, guys. So which will take say 10-15 minutes of discussion. So which we are going to make it in the tomorrow's class. And then we'll download the Python software. And then we'll start with the basics of Python, guys. Okay. Yes, obviously, guys, as part of our training program, every day-to-day recording video will be shared to you guys. But as I said, no, Just it will takes 1 week because we have to create a drive, and we have not yet confirmed about how many peoples are going to be starting, because all these are introduction classes. So I think so you don't immediately start learning from the first class itself. So you can start learning within a couple of days or a couple of weeks, at least 1 week. If you wait, you can start learning the applications actually. Okay. So we will be getting recorded videos, guys. Whatever the notes I'm writing here, this PDF file will come, and whatever the code, I'll write it actually, guys. If I write the code, we'll write the code now, guys. So in Java, this is going to be the code what you are going to write, or Python, what is the code you write. The programs or whatever the files I'm going to be using, those also going to be get shared to you. Okay. So you can learn actually, guys. It is going to be a way, that means because it is a purely an online session. So if you network connectivities, some audio issues, so many issues will come. So we cannot say that you have to just listen the class and you have to write the notes. So everything recording video will be shared to you guys, starting from first class up to the last class. We'll get the recording videos, and apart from that, we are going to be getting all the PDFs and all these things also. We'll get it actually, guys. Okay, so that's it. Course curriculum, my team is going to share you to your email IDs. They will send you the follow-up mails. As part of the follow-up mails, they will send you that particular the link for that particular this one. Or else I can, let me check, can I share any files here? I think, just give me a minute. Okay, so I can't share the files here, so maybe I can't share the files. So just give me a minute. Yeah guys, I can't share the files. Okay. Anyhow, my backend team is going to share you some the whatever the it's an Excel sheet is there, where you will be having the complete the details about our course curriculum and all the duration, all these things. You can just go through them and you can clarify your doubts, guys. Okay, fine. So that's it for the today's class, guys. And there are some few features I left over, guys. So which I'm going to be discussing in the tomorrow's class, guys. Okay. And then I'll start with a basic practicals of, which is going to be the Python. We'll start with them, guys. Okay. Yes, guys. Anyone, guys, any questions? If you have any questions, you can feel free to discuss, guys. Any questions, guys, from anyone? Yeah. Okay, guys. So thank you, guys. Just it's an all introduction classes now, guys. We'll go a little bit slow. And once the basic classes are started, then we can start with an application, guys. Yes, our program will be covered, but not now. It is going to be almost all after completion of machine learning and all these things. We'll discuss about the R. Okay, Mohanty? Fine. So thank you for today, guys. And no, it's not required. It does not require any, you're talking about DSA stands for data structures, DS algorithms, right? Yes, it does not require. Well, no, we don't require any data structure algorithms, right? These are machine learning algorithms, guys. They are going to be this one, okay? Yeah, minimal configuration, guys. It's not going to be in a high level configuration. I'll tell you, as of now, basic configuration, guys, as of the latest, what are the current latest you are using, as part of that, it's an i3 pro. Everybody is using i3 processor, guys. Minimum 4 GB to 8 GB. Okay, minimum everybody is using 16 GBs also. So latest configuration, guys. It's need not to be higher configuration, but as part of the latest, whatever the latest the hardware is there, that is sufficient, guys. We don't require any very high-end systems are not required. Okay, fine, guys. So dual core also. Dual core is a little bit very old one. It's a very, very old one. So after that, dual cores has been replaced by i3, i5, i7. Dual core is also works, but it is better. Dual core means it is the system itself is a very, very old system, very, very old system. Okay, fine. But you can try work. If you're having a dual core machine, you try working on them. If you feel that it is not working later, then you can change it. But as of now, you can work. It's not a big problem. Right, guys. So thanks for today, guys. And we'll meet up tomorrow, same time, same link. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow at the same time, guys. Thank you all of you for today. Have a nice day. Yes, you have a third-party issue. There are third-party platforms are also there. You can use that, like Google Colab or something like that. We can work Bushin. Okay. You can work with the third-party tools are there, third-party platforms are there. Yes, absolutely. Right, guys. So just for today, I'll stop it here, guys, and we'll continue in the tomorrow's class. Thank you all of you guys.